Hey you guys, okay, today I am with somebody very special. His name is Richard Kaufman, and Richard is more than a friend. He's family in that God put us together in a very family-like way, right Richard?
Right.
Okay, now I have to, and his mother Barbara, she didn't want to be on camera, but she's a wonderful, wonderful woman too. Okay, I have to explain that when I talk, I've already asked Richard's permission for this, and he said it would not hurt his feelings, but Richard, who has overcome so much, sometimes talks very fast, and I've grown accustomed to understanding what he's saying, right?
Right.
And so I'm going to just explain what he says so that everybody can know, because what he has to say is so important, because he has overcome more than probably anybody else I know. He's persevered and overcome so throughout his life, and his story is so amazing. But anyway, I just want to say that that I met Richard in January of 1987, right?
Right.
And we were both, it's before I got married, before I even thought of dating Jose, and we were both single people going to Miami-Dade Community College,
Yeah.
and we met in the lunchroom.
Cafeteria.
In the cafeteria, right? And then it turned out we both lived on Miami Beach, and then I sometimes gave Richard rides so he didn't have to take the bus, and that's how our friendship developed. And then I took you to church, right?
Right.
Okay, now I would like Richard to explain what he's overcome. Would you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay, so will you tell us, tell me about, remember you were going to say about what happened when you were young, how you were bullied, and how you remember?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk? Are you going to?
I'm ready to talk.
You're not ready to talk?
I am ready.
Oh, you are ready. Okay, good. Okay, would you explain now about what happened when you were young?
Yes. When he was 7 years old, I was misdiagnosed as retarded.
Okay, when he was 7 years old, he was misdiagnosed as being retarded.
And I was labeled as handicapped.
And he was labeled as handicapped.
And I was sent to a special boarding school for retarded kids.
And Richard was sent to a special boarding school for retarded children. Go on.
And then later on in life, I worked at Shake a Leg 3 summers in a row.
And then later on, he persevered and he got a job at a place called Shake a Leg for 3 summers in a row?
Yeah.
3 summers in a row. Is that before you started to go to college?
It was before.
Okay. Was this while you were in high school or after high school?
Shake a Leg, it was later on. It
Later
was.
on. Okay. And then you
In
graduated.
1980 and 2008, and Shake a Leg, I was instructor of the week.
Okay, in 2008 he was instructor of the week, right? But tell about how you went to college and everything. You know, here he had been diagnosed as being retarded, but then wait till you hear the final thing with college. Go on.
The university graduated was from FIU.
Yeah, but okay, so he went to where we met at Miami-Dade Community College, and he would get A's, right? Sometimes A's, and sometimes C's, sometimes B's, but you got a lot of A's, right?
The A's were later on in life.
Oh, the A's were later on, okay. But you graduated in what year from Miami-Dade?
1999.
In 1999, Richard graduated from Miami-Dade, and we went to that, after we were married, we went to that graduation, remember?
Yes.
Okay, then what happened?
And then I was accepted at FIU in 2009.
In 2009, Richard was accepted to go to FIU, which is Florida International University. And there you got a lot of A's. I remember you would show me your grades, right?
I only got 2 A's and an A minus, But he got a lot of B's.
Yeah, a lot of B's, and he got 2 A's and 3 A minuses?
No, 1 A minus.
1 A minus. But that's amazing, isn't it? Here he had been misdiagnosed as being mentally retarded. Oh, you forgot about how you found God, and then God helped you so much, right?
Right.
In what year did you find God?
In 1982, in a foster home. Then later on, he went back to church with Mary and Mommy Day.
So in 1982, at a foster home, he asked God to come and help him in his life. And then we met later on, and I started to take him. He really hadn't been going to church, and I started to take him to church, and he has a slew of friends, probably more friends than I have, throughout the world because you started to go to church, right?
Right.
Okay, so then you went to Florida International University, right?
Right, and I was a sociology major.
And he was a sociology major.
And the classes for graduation that was required, it was called Societies in the World.
Okay, the class that you took for graduation that was required, what?
Societies in the World.
Science?
Societies. Societies in the world.
Oh, society in rural.
Societies.
Societies in rural.
In the world.
In the rural. In the rural.
In the world.
In the world. In the world. I'm sorry. Would you forgive me?
Yeah.
Societies in the world. Uh-huh. And then?
And since I was a housing near New Mexico, they helped with the presentation. Because that's what caught attention. I remember what doing in Indian Pueblo, and if you take a picture, they would take the camera and not give it back.
Okay, so...
And that was the biggest attention during the presentation.
Okay, so when when we lived in New Mexico, Richard came to visit us 3 times, right?
Right.
He flew out to visit us 3 times. And then it just so happened that this was during his time of taking that class about societies in the world. So he was able to focus in one of his classes.
It was a group presentation.
In the group presentation, we took him to the Pueblo, and he was able to focus in for those who haven't seen my other videos, we lived very near the Native American Indian Pueblo. And so we took him to the Pueblo, and he was able to do a group presentation on the using the Pueblo Nation that he had visited. So that was wonderful. But now, let's tell about what happened at the end of your college career. What happened? When you graduated, what happened?
When I graduated, I received special recognition. I was a religious studies minor.
Okay, wait. When Richard graduated, he received special recognition. We went to his graduation, and we were so extremely impressed. We were ushered into the front row because we were there with Richard. And then Richard was the president of Florida International University, chose 2 people to talk about through his presentation, and one of them was Richard, and he spent at least 15 minutes giving honor to Richard. Right?
Right.
I am so amazed at my friend. Okay, so Sarah or Timmy wanted you to tell about your marriage plans. Do you want to talk about that or not?
One more thing, and
one more thing? Okay.
And then I can talk about it.
Okay.
And I can talk about how Libya too, how I had a right to pay the travel guide. That helped too.
Okay. He helped. He also.
I required to take a geography course for graduation.
He was required to take a geography course for graduation.
The course that shows the geography for the Middle East.
And you had to talk about the Middle East?
No, I had to write a travel guide on Libya.
He had to write about Libya.
And it was kind of hard to write about.
And it was hard to write about.
But he got 98 at the end.
But he got a 98 at the end of it. That's amazing, Richard. We're so proud of you. But anyway, so Did you want to tell about your future plans or anything?
Yes. My future plans, and
This we all can pray for. You know, we're believing that God will break through for Richard in these areas. What?
when I get married, I hope to live in the Rella Aventura.
Okay, he's hoping to get married and to live in Doral
Or Aventura.
or Adventura. Those are parts of Miami. And you're on eHarmony, right?
Right, but I'm on eHarmony. I talked to my match last year. Well, I almost met my match last
He
year.
almost met his match last year. That's amazing, Richard. That's amazing. So we're all praying for your plans. And the wonderful news, they inherited some money and they just purchased a condominium.
It has a parking space too.
That has a parking space because Richard has his driver's license, and right,
Right.
and so he has saved money for a car. Well, I guess that's all. What were you putting,
more.
Jose? Huh?
Like his birthdates.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Richard has an amazing memory, right?
Right.
He is gifted. In memory, and okay, if you tell him. Pretty much anybody that tells you their birthday, right?
Right.
So many people. He knows their birthday and anniversaries. And okay, so can you tell, I'm going to give you a little test.
Yeah.
What's my birthday?
October 21st,
Okay, what year was I born? Do you know that one?
1956.
Very good. What about Jose?
February 21st.
And when was he born?
And 1954.
Okay, what about, when did we get married?
May 21st, 1988.
Perfect. What about Sarah's birthday?
February 12th,
What, do you know what year?
1993.
Wow. What about Timmy? Do you know Timmy?
June 5th,
Yeah, what year?
1994.
Wow.
Good. Okay,
Well,
what
that's-
about Hannah?
November 30th,
Yeah.
1990.
Good. What about
Jeez.
Lexi?
And April 20th, 1989.
Very good. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Now,
Amazing.
just for the
It's a
last
computer.
thing, tell everybody your birthday so they can wish you well on your birthday that will be coming pretty soon.
And March 31st, I'll be celebrating 50th birthday.
50th birthday. Congratulations. Well, are you sure you don't want to say hi, Barbara? Okay, Barbara doesn't want to say hi. Thank you so much, Richard, for joining us today. And I'm just so grateful that you're my friend. Okay, bye everybody.